The Livingston fabrication scenario is a good opportunity to practice some of the logic of aggregate planning. Let's take a look. Livingston Fabrication has created the following aggregate plan for the next 5 months. Okay, so we see a forecast over those 5 months, and notice that we have a plan. We don't have to figure out the plan, we have a plan. They're going to produce the same amount each month. Oh, also known as a perfectly level aggregate plan. All right. Assuming that Livingston will have nothing in inventory at the end of July. Okay. Livingston employs, now here's some interesting information, 500 production assembly workers, and it takes one production assembly worker 3 minutes to assemble 1 unit of finished good. Okay. The unit is complete at that point. Yes, okay, good to know. Each production assembly worker can provide 160 hours of assembly time a month without requiring overtime pay. Okay, now, what's the question? Livingston wants to complete this plan without working any overtime in assembly. Okay, so they want to do it all in regular time. How many additional production assembly workers does Livingston need to accomplish this, and when should they be hired? Okay, so Livingston wants to pursue a perfectly level plan that involves producing the 2 million each month. And the question is asking how many assembly workers do they need to hire? This isn't really a formula. It's just logic. Let's just reason through this. Okay, they want to produce 2 million each month. It says that on the table. How many can one worker produce? Because if we knew how many one worker could produce, we could figure out how many workers were needed by dividing that into the 2 million that they want to produce each month. Oh, all right, so I better collect up the information that I need. Concerning one worker, this is like my one worker scratch work area. One worker, 160 hours a month. Yes, that was right there. Okay, so one worker provides 160 hours a month. Now, what can one worker do? One worker can make 1 unit in 0.3 minutes. Okay, they can make 1 unit in 0.3 minutes. So you know something that would be really handy here is to figure out how many hours that is. That is to say, take 3 and divide it by 60. To convert, that was minutes. By dividing it by 60, that converts it into hours. You say, okay, it's 3 minutes is 0.05 hours. Great. Okay, why do I need that? Because take that number and divide it into 160. Each worker can provide 160 hours a month. It takes 0.05 hours to produce one of these things, so divide that into 160, and that is going to tell you how many units each worker can provide a month. Okay, I did that. 160 divided by 0.05, basically the result over here, I get 3,200. What is that? Units a month. And it's an important tool to figure out the rest of this. So I'm going to kind of highlight it so I don't lose track of it. It concerns one worker. One worker can produce 3,200 a month. Okay, fine. Now I said it's an important tool. Why is it important? We're trying to answer this question, right? How many additional workers do they need? Next, let's figure out, it's just logic, how many workers do they need overall? Okay, well that would be the 2 million that they want to make each and every month, divided by what I just found out, each worker can provide 3,200. I did that and I get 625. Okay, 625, good number. What is that? 625 workers needed. The question is how many need to be hired? How many additional are needed? We need to net out I knew we were going to use this, 500 workers they have already. They're already employed. And then that yields the answer to the inquiry. They need to hire 125 additional workers course, there was this other question, when should they be hired? Well, you need the 125 workers, additional workers, in order to be able to produce 2 million a month. They want to produce 2 million a month for all of these months. When should they be hired? They got to be hired right here then, because you've got to be ready to go in August. So they've got to be hired by end of July. I mean, that's the logical answer. And I mean, if you wanted to expand on that, they need to be hired by the end of July. And that's assuming that they can go right away to work. Is there going to be a training period? Then you would need to back up from that. They need to be ready to work by the very beginning of August. All right, now that's not the only question they asked about Livingston. Using this production plan that we already have, how many units will be in inventory at the end of October? At the ending inventory. Okay, now to answer that question, a little bit of review. Ending inventory for a certain period like October is beginning inventory for that period plus anything that's produced minus anything that's demanded, consumed, shipped out, basically. Okay, now you say, all right, well, wait a minute, where's beginning inventory come from? Remember that beginning inventory for a certain month like October is the ending inventory for the month before that. Oh, so the beginning inventory, for example, in October would be the ending inventory for September. You say, well, all right, it just wants to know what's the ending inventory for October. Notice that in order to fill out the formula for October, we already need essentially the ending inventory for September, because that's going to be the beginning inventory for October. So in order to calculate that, we would need the ending inventory for you know what we have to do is we really should just, the easiest thing to do would be to, I knew there was a reason why they left some space in here, is just figure out ending inventory for all the months. Might as well. Ending inventory. Kind of adding a row here. Adding a row here. Now, ending inventory, when I switch to a skinnier pen since we have so many zeros, they said that there's nothing in inventory right now. That means that in August you start with nothing, the beginning inventory, you're going to make 2 million, but you're going to ship out, the forecasted demand is 1 million, so it's 0 plus the 2 million minus the 1 million, we will have 1 million left in inventory at the end of August. Okay, so ending inventory for August is 1 million. That becomes the beginning inventory for September, 1 million plus the 2 million additional that you make in September, but then minus the 1 million that you ship out. Oh, your ending inventory for September is going to be 2 million. Okay, and then October, start with 2 million, make another 2 million, ship out 2 million. You have 2 million left in inventory again, which actually was the answer to that question, but let's keep going. November, 2 million plus 2 million minus 4 million. It's a big shipping month. November knocks the inventory down to nothing. And then December, start with nothing, 0, plus 2 million, minus 1 million, end December with 1 million in inventory. Now that question had asked the ending inventory for October, and there is our answer right there for October. So we might as well note that, 2 million. Okay, last question. What will the average inventory level be? Oh, each month. All right, now we need to remember that average inventory is beginning inventory plus ending inventory divided by 2. That's essentially what you're averaging in average inventory, the beginning and the ending inventory for a particular month. Oh, all right. Well, they're asking for each month, so we just might as well start with August. August. Okay, beginning inventory, I have to consult the sheet. Beginning inventory in August, oh, they said they don't have anything in inventory. We begin with nothing. We end with 1,000. So technically, the average inventory, 0 plus, I should say, we end with 1 million, not 1,000. 0 plus 1 million divided by 2. August's average inventory is 500,000. Okay. Then comes September. All right, September's beginning inventory is 1 million, the ending inventory for August. So September, begin with 1 million, end with 2 million. Average inventory is that 1 million, 2, 3, plus 2 million divided by 2. Average inventory in September is up to 1 million, 1.5 million, 1,500,000. Okay. Next month would be, it's the August, September, October. In October, you begin with 2 million, you end with 2 million. So you can write this down if you want to, but what do you think on average that is? 2 million plus 2 million divided by 2. Yes, big surprise. Yeah, you know, on average they had 2 million throughout the month in inventory in October. Okay, then that brings us up to November. In November, consult the table. In November, they start with 2 million, right? The ending inventory for October. They start with 2 million and they end with nothing. So the average inventory is they start with 2 million and they end with nothing, divided by 2. Average inventory is 1 million. And then finally, December. Retrieve the numbers. They start with nothing. They end with 1 million. 1 million plus nothing divided by 2. We are back down to an average inventory of 500,000 in December.